We're back live at TFP 5. It's women's Muay Thai action to be contested 3 by 3 minute rounds in the super welterweights division. Introducing to you first, she'll be fighting out of the blue corner, weighing in at 61.25 kilograms with the blue trunks and a record of 3 wins and 3 losses. She fights out of Nakang. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kristin Clarke. And her opponent will be fighting out of the red corner with the red trunks, standing 1.64 meters tall and weighing in at 63.1 kilograms. With a record of 6 wins, 5 losses, and a single draw. Fighting out of Iron Tiger, ladies and gentlemen, introducing Nuraan Noordien. Welcome to the jungle. It is here at TFP 5 Women's Pro-Am action as we step up into competition with the returning Kristin Clarke. No stranger to TFP and no stranger to Muay Thai as her opponent, making her first TFP appearance, Noordien, who you might have noticed if you've been a keen follower. She's been a referee a few times in these events. And of course, she fights out of Iron Tiger, that talent-laden team in Bree Street in Cape Town. She comes with experience.
Yeah, as I said, this is a night of the comeback kids, you know. Nuraan hasn't maybe fought in a while. I think her last fight was in 2018. Has been active on the referee scene and very active, obviously, in the mid-20 teens in K1. I actually toured with her to Brazil when we made the South African team. Got to know her quite well there. Yeah, great competitor. Also a teacher, which is interesting because we have a student in Kristin, the teacher and the student duking it out in the ring. I'm sure it's what every student and teacher really want to do, climb into the ring and exchange a few shots.
You know, in all my time around the Western Cape and Cape Town martial arts scene, doing different events, CFL, MMA, K1, boxing, Muay Thai, I got to really cast my mind back quite a long way to when I last saw Nuraan in the ring and try and sort of figure and remember about who she was as a fighter. I can only expect highly technical is what's going to be coming out of her, because she has that vast experience in multiple codes of fighting, and she makes, at 31 years old, her return to Muay Thai here at TFP.
Yeah, so I think one of the big things that Nuraan always had in her fights back then, and the way that she works now, that she's got a lot of power. So she likes to push forward with big punches, maybe see some really big kicks coming in as well. And she'll have a bit of a height advantage.
Big power
Well,
push
actually, now that I
forward.
see them standing next to each other, not so much of a height advantage as I thought. So yeah, there's some serious stare downs going on in the center of the ring there.
Kristin's a very intense individual.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
her
Nuraan
face,
came out with the same look, that death stare.
both with rowdy rock and roll music. You know
Yeah,
what kind
for
of a
sure.
fight we're going to have? Rowdy rock and roll right here in the ring. Receiving their last instructions. Of course, Coach Russell of Nakeng Muay Thai. He's brought through a few fighters. He's got a fighter lined up later this evening, Paul Combal. He's going to be fighting for a title right here at TFP tonight. So he's got a busy night ahead of him. And of course, Shaheen Price, you're going to see him all over the place for the rest of the evening.
And it's also nice that, his fights are staggered out through the night, so he'll be coming in and out here. Nuraan's already looking very intense.
That was a quick start by Noordien.
Quick start, but a nice return from Kristin as well, just to start hitting those kicks, to basically to say, if you're going to rush me, I'm going to be landing those big body shots. So it's a good way to reply to opening round punching.
A snarling look by Kristin Clarke. She ain't impressed by what she's seen. Very evenly matched size-wise for these two ladies.
Yeah, I think what it's going to come down to is a bit of like a stylistic difference. What we're seeing already is that Nuraan staying on the outside, being a bit more light on the feet, and Kristin with that heavy Muay Thai base, walking forward, walking it down, just basically trying to get into that space and find the openings for the shots.
It almost seemed like Kristin Clarke was mouthing some words towards Noordien there. Keeping her pinned against the ropes.
Nuraan needs to be careful not to try and deflect those shots using only her arms. She's got to try and check those kicks as well.
Elbows in close. If it's not going to hit you cleanly, it's definitely going to rub that eye. The fabric of the protectors that you're going to get. Of course, it can't feel very smooth when you're getting an elbow behind that.
Yeah, and I think what we saw there as Nuraan took that shot, she actually looked a little bit surprised that it came from there because they're in the clinch. But, she's clinching low, trying to trap the arms, and Kristin just slipped her elbow through that. Shakes off the kick from Nuraan. Nuraan's trying to stay on the outside, using her jab quite effectively.
Oh.
Kristin throws a punch which is on the ground.
That
Illegal
is
move. I think
definitely not allowed.
Jonde's either going to take a point or...
Kristin's experienced enough to know that that's a no-go area. In any code of fighting that you have, even in MMA, there are various points where you cannot hit a fighter on the floor.
Interesting to see what Jonde's going to do. I think he's called a timeout. He's going to ask Nuraan if she wants to continue now. Don't see any points being deducted or anything.
It's just a hard warning.
I think he might have DQ'd her there, actually. I think he's called the fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a disqualification.
Kristin Clarke getting DQ'd for illegally striking her opponent on the ground. It's not a nice way to see it end so early as well. I'm sure Nuraan would have enjoyed taking the win by actually fighting it out. But she gets to raise her hands at the end of the night. Gets to celebrate with a victory. And they don't seem too fussed with each other. I mean, sometimes these things happen, it's adrenaline rushing and jumping in. Sometimes the guys also cross-training in MMA and jits, so might have jumped in and just threw the punch instinctively, but obviously not allowed in the game of Muay Thai. As soon as any third point touches the ground, there's a knee, where you go to ground, no kicks and no punches allowed. As we go to Devon for the announcement.
The winner will receive a hamper from our sponsors Endurade, and due to the punch thrown to a down fighter, your winner coming by way of disqualification, fighting out of the red corner, Nuraan Noordien.